girl Camille B. Thank you so much for taking the time to stop by my channel. We're going to jump right into it. Today's topic is how to measure real-time employee engagement. Here are 6 tips. So I cannot stress enough how important employee engagement is for any business. Studies have shown that engaged employees are more productive and innovative as well. And if that's the case, they are more engaged. And don't you want more engaged employees? I know I do. Now, it's important to ensure that your business has an effective employee engagement strategy to keep your employees engaged as well as motivated. So how do you know that your engagement strategy is working? Well, you know me, I keep it simple, right? Measure it. Now, when you measure employee engagement, guess what? You get to benchmark it and you figure out what the strengths are and what the weaknesses are. Where are the problem areas? You get to measure that. Now, with this business, what you want to do is you really want to figure out what your engagement strategy is. And when you put a good strategy in place, you are going to then benefit from that strategy, right? And more than likely, your employees will be more engaged. Now, keep in mind, measuring employee engagement, it's not an easy feat. However, it can be done. And here are the 6 tips. The first thing you want to do is you want to have those frequent pulse surveys. Now, I know a lot of people hate the surveys, but just hear me out. Pulse surveys, they don't have to be something long. You can keep it short, 5 to 10 specific questions aimed at your employees' engagement that you can measure. Now, these surveys are used to keep up with the pulse of the office, and they're usually distributed quarterly, monthly, or you can also do some weekly. I like the quarterly myself, but hey, right? So these pulse surveys, what they do is they give your organization a better insight on what employee engagement drivers are allowing them to take action as soon as possible, right? Pulse surveys make it easier for companies to investigate engagement in specific areas of what your organization. And they are an excellent tool for assessing if the steps the company has put in place are actually working. Because we like to measure stuff. We want to know, is it working? The second one would be your Employee Net Promoter Score, or your eNPS. Now, based on the Net Promoter Score, which is used to judge customer satisfaction by asking your employees if they would recommend a business product or services to other people. Now, the Employee Net Promoter Score is used to measure employee loyalty. So that eNPS usually only have one question asking employees if they would recommend the company as a great place to work. Now, there is a sliding scale, right? So 1 would mean that your employees are unlikely to recommend the company. Sorry. But if you get a 10, that means that they are extremely likely to recommend the company. Now, there are some disadvantages to the eNPS, right? They don't give all the information on the why the employees disengage, but they do offer insightful data on what percentage of your employees are loyal to the business. And that will help to keep you informed as well. And the third one would be one-on-one meetings. I love one-on-ones. Now, your one-on-one meetings are a great way for companies to measure employee engagement. The thing about these meetings is they are informal sometimes they're private, and they're confidential, right? So having them often can be a great way to get your employees to open up and go into detail about how they feel about working at the organization, how they feel about you as a leader as well. Right? This is the time for you to really open up those lines of communication. So it falls on you, my leaders, my managers, to ensure that your employees, they don't feel uncomfortable and make them feel at ease, because what you want them to do is really be able to open up and share details about any issues that they may be facing. This is a perfect time to have that conversation. Now, the one-on-one meetings, they provide a great avenue for managers, leaders, to not only question their employees about the problems they may be facing, but to really do what? Listen to what they are going through. Keep those open lines of communication. Yes. 4, exit interviews. Now, the exit interviews are quite a common feature in a lot of companies, right? Some do them, some don't. It's a hit and miss, right? But it may seem unorthodox because you're saying to yourself, like, why am I measuring this person's engagement? They leaving. But, these tools can be surprisingly handy. They can provide useful insight into your company's engagement process, and it can also assist you in figuring out what you could be doing wrong and what you could be doing better. Plus, an employee who's leaving the company, they're more likely to give you more honest feedback, as they know, like, They have nothing to worry about. They turned in their notice. They about to be out. They are no longer worried, right? Their job's not on the line. So this is great. The fact is, an exit interview, if it's well planned out, can assist the manager, the leader, in figuring out which areas they should work on to improve the engagement. And that's the purpose of that exit interview. And so number 5 would be stay interviews. Now I know we're like, stay interviews. Yes, stay interviews. They're a little less common than your exit interviews, right? But they're a tool that I think companies should pick up to help them in measuring employee engagement. You know, your stay interviews are conducted with your long-term employees, and their main question that we want to ask them is, why have you stayed with the company so long? Like, and not that we're mad, right? But we want to know why, so we can get more people to stay too. Now, the goal of that stay interview is helping companies to figure out why their employees choose to stay with them for as long as they have. Now, with these stay interviews, companies can learn what works in their engagement strategy and can also provide useful insight on which aspects they can improve on to provide better what? Employee engagement. And that's what it's about, that employee engagement. The 6th and final one is this: measure voluntary employee turnover rate. Yes, that was a mouthful. Your voluntary employee turnover rate can help you measure employee engagement levels. Now, we all know that a high turnover rate, it is not good at all. And organizations need to be able to retain their employees. So if a company is unable to maintain a low voluntary employee turnover rate, we have to find out why. This can be indicative of a lack of employee engagement strategies in place. This is because the chances of staffing people and them wanting to stay at your workplace is an issue. They don't feel engaged, they may not feel motivated, and they are less likely to stay with us. So we definitely want to find out what the issue is with the turnover. So to wrap things up, in order to measure real-time employee engagement, you need to incorporate several different approaches. And remember that one size, it does not fit all. You got to switch things up. Now, once you've gotten your feedback, you got to remember to inform your employees of the result. Figure out solutions to help make employee engagement better. And then once you figure that out, go ahead and implement it. Now, once they are in play, don't forget to reassess, right? This is something that we're always going to reassess. And then let's see if they're leading to what? Our expected results. So those are the 6 tips that I have at this time. Thank you so much again. And don't forget to like this video. Comment down below if you have any suggestions or videos that you want me to create. Go ahead and put that in the box as well, right? In the comment section. And also, don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, it's Camille B.